Halo, and you accrue points based on your placement in the matches. So, you know, we have a couple returning individuals here tonight, one of them being Benjo Stark, who is on our screen right now. He does get taken down, but yeah, another one being Dragon Bane, one of probably the favorites going into this, but, you know, it's going to be a fun night. They always are, CNK.
Hey, I'm excited for a good time, and this one is going to be a good time. But like you said, Dragon Bane and Benjo Stark, two guys who have been here before, so I'm excited to see how they do this time around in the finals. This is season 3 of the FFA series finale, so should be a good one. We see these guys back again. They're ready to dominate the best they can, but already off to a hot start. We got our boy Benjo Stark. He's got the most kills in the lobby, only by 2. I mean, 1, because Dragon Bane's right behind him. Looks like the boys who've been around are staying around.
Yeah, they got the reps here in these FFA Halo finals. You know, you're playing FFAs in these series, and, you know, they're probably high stakes for sure, but none of them as high stakes as the finals, no doubt about it. So you got to think the players who have played in these in the past probably have an idea of how they want to perform here and are probably going to try to take it to that highest level, maybe place first here tonight.
Yeah, hopefully they can get her done. It'll just be exciting to see one of our guys like that get that done, but we're going to see one of the guys who I think is one of the favorites in the lobby tonight. That's going to be Riot's. He's currently up to that 5 kill mark as well, right behind our boy Benjo. Starting to see the lobby. You know, things are, you know, just going pretty much how they typically go at the beginning of an FFA. Everyone's trying to feel out the pace. Everyone's trying to figure out, hey, what's my strategy going to be for the 3 games so far, right? I mean, we're only 2 minutes in, not even a full 2 minutes, but we're 2 minutes into this game right now, and people are just trying to feel it out, see what they got to do to get some kills here.
Yeah, one interesting thing about these nights, as always, is you get to see how these players react to these FFAs, because you can drastically see the play styles change as these FFAs go on. You know, the first one, we always see it to be maybe somewhat slow. The interactions aren't as high as always. Like, we got first place Benjo Stark sitting at 10 and 5 right now. But by the third one, when we get to this point in the third one, we might be seeing somebody in first place going like, you know, 11 and 9 or something. It's not always about the KD. The number 1 rule is always going for kills.
Yeah, you got to get it done, right? It's all about getting those kills. Like, we see a guy like in the previous seasons. You got season 1 and season 2 of the FFA series. You got a guy like Generic. Remember, he was always in people's faces. He was always finishing in that like top 4, top 5 of every single lobby, doing a really good job of just always being in your face, making sure he was getting them that high top tier kills, but never really got it done. And we don't see him this season. Obviously, I don't think he played this season, but still, like, one of those guys who was just always in your face and was very consistent over multiple lobbies, which is always fun to see.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to have 8 people in each of these lobbies, and I just want to go over the point breakdown real quick for how placements go. If you get in first, you get 10 points. Second place accrues 8, 7 for third, 6 for fourth, 4th for 5th, or 4 points for 5th place, 3 for 6th, 2 for 7th, and 1 for that 8th place. So, you know, kind of spread amongst everybody. I remember in some FFAs in the past, I think the first one, you know, we only gave points to maybe the first 6 or maybe even 4 players, but now
5.
Yeah, it was something like that. You didn't get points if you placed out of the like top 5 threshold, but now you get points for playing. But those high placement games are always necessary if you want to take home that number 1 spot.
Oh, I mean, the biggest thing to look at, I mean, the massive difference between 1st and 8th in this lobby as far as how many points you get can make it very, very difficult for you to like make a comeback in the series if you get last in the first game. But biggest thing to note, something you kind of like touched on earlier, is that like it doesn't really matter what place you get in the first one as long as you clutch up and play very, very well in the future matches, and like everyone around you kind of helps you out. You know what I mean? As far as like, making sure whoever gets first in the first lobby like gets last or second last in that second one and third one. Like, things can change pretty quickly, but I do believe in both of our last seasons we pretty much had one player like either win or get like first or second in the first 2 games, and it kind of like made things like, unless they got literally last in the 3rd game, it was very difficult for them to lose.
Yeah, if you see somebody win this first game, your ultimate goal, obviously it's going to be hard to do so, but your ultimate goal should be just to make sure that you don't allow that person to get first place again. Because if you get back-to-back first places, it's going to be really hard to dethrone that player, like you said, unless they get that last place spot. So you know, the one thing I would say to these players is if you can at least place like top 3 in the game 1, you're in a good spot. You can definitely win this, but it's going to be very hard to win one of these FFA series if you're unable to take at least one of these maps home.
Oh yeah, I honestly think that's kind of just the big money ticket thing, right? You got to try to win a map and then try to stay in that top 3, top 4 for the other 2 maps, or you got to stay up in the top no matter what. You can't really afford to have an 8th place or a 7th place finish. It obviously is never chalked if you get to that point, because I mean, as we're seeing right now, this lobby very, very close together. A lot of people in that 14+ kill mark range. But like, if you just get last place, getting that 1 point is just, it just kind of stalls you out. Even, especially if it's like the first game, you might lose a little bit of momentum going into the lobby. Like, it's just rough.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Let's start going over how these players are doing so far. I mean, from what I'm seeing on the board right now, we got a lot of players within 1 or 2 kills of each other. To list them off real quickly, we got Benjo Stark leading the pack at 21 so far. Close right behind him is Dragonbane with 19, and then right behind them is Riot. And then we got a couple players at 16, one at 13, and then Joltz and Critical rounding it out with 11 and 9. So right now, Benjo Stark, like we said, leading the pack, and he's kind of taking that strategy we were talking about. He's trying to get a lot of interactions here. He's only +6 on the scoreboard, but leading by 2 at this point, it's not necessarily comfortable, but it's definitely where you want to be.
And you got such a big lead on some of the guys towards the bottom of the lobby as well, that it's just, you've got a lot of, like, you just got a lot of confidence going forward in this lobby, and you got some guys really, really close to you. And like you said, it's not the most comfortable, but it's definitely nice to be in the lead though, right? Like, it just gives you that little bit of confidence in every gunfight. Like, hey, I'm the best guy in the lobby. Like, I mean, maybe it's not too much of a confidence booster, but it's a little bit, right? Just something to get you going. But I do want to point out that we got like someone like Riot right now. Riot's right now has 13 assists. This guy's just not able to finish those kills right off the bat by himself, which, hey, I'm sure it's just a lot of that. Just someone comes in and kind of snipes that out. But if he can just start finishing some of those kills, the guy's going to be on top real quick.
Yeah, we've seen that in the past where some players have kind of a tough start with the assists. They get a few kills stolen from them. They lead the pack in assists. But to see somebody like Riot's with 13 assists and 24 kills to his name, that's going to be somebody you want to look out for, because like you said, CNK, at some point, those kills are going to start going in his favor. And when he gets in that groove, you're going to want to slow him down as fast as possible, because you cannot let somebody like that catch steam.
Yeah, I mean, most definitely. Like, it's just so difficult when someone does finally catch steam like that, because they're already doing so well in the lobby with their overall damage, but then now they're just like finishing those kills, right? And you're like talking about, in some cases, they're like doubling their kill output in a matter of like minutes, and it's just absolutely insane. It's very difficult when you're at that top of the scoreboard and you just see someone in the kill feed just stacking numbers up, the numbers up there right now. But we've got 2 guys at that 26 kill marker right now, and that's going to be Riots and Benjo Stark, the 2 probably like more so of the favorites in this lobby as far as we thought were going to be very good. Benjo Stark being a returning player, and Riots just being someone who's done so well all season long that it just seemed like he was going to be really good. But I thought our boy vYosh was going to make a play there for a second.
Yeah, Riots has taken the lead here, sitting at 28 kills right now. That is subject to change, but one player that you just pointed out that has snuck up on the pack is going to be vYosh. vYosh, only +1 in the kill department, but only has 7 assists. He's finishing his kills, he's finding those third parties, and he's found himself in a pretty solid spot right here, sitting in 4th place. Definitely some room to work with here as we get to that final third of this game. Only 6 minutes left to go. If you're unaware, we do start with 15 minutes on the clock right here. I want to say, CNK, that, you know, when we start finishing these games, you know, the winner rounds out at about like 42 to 45 kills. But don't be surprised if in that third game, or maybe even that second game, the winner closes out with around 55 kills. The pace of play really rises as these games go on.
Oh, yeah, 100%. It's something we've seen like season finale to season finale over and over again. You know, like, and it's something we touched on at the very beginning of this, like, this very game, is that, like, the pacing of every single player is just going to change rapidly over the course of every single match as they're getting more and more used to their opponents. Like, they're recognizing names, they're recognizing how these gunfights are going, how, like, who's got a little bit better connection when it comes to maybe smacking someone, right? And, like, just how things are going and who they can and who they can't hit in certain ways, and it's just helping them adapt on the fly how they're playing, right? And they have to. It's just kind of how it goes in these finals. It's all about adapting on the fly and adjusting your gameplay. Yeah,
absolutely. With just about 5 minutes to go left here, CNK, This is really anybody's game right now. We got 4 players here sitting at that 30 to 32 mark right now, and that is not a lot of margin for error here. Any of these players, those players being vYosh, Benjo, Stark, Riots, and Dragonbane, I feel like any of those players could take this home right now. You could even see a player like Messi really turn up in these last 4 minutes and 45 seconds and take this one home. But for right now, it looks like this one's going down to the wire. We might have a fantastic series on our hands of FFA matches.
Yeah, I mean, we got 4 people within 2 kills towards the top of that leaderboard. We're seeing kills go down back and forth on the map. Look at vYosh right there with 2 big kills. Like plunge himself into the lead, picks up another one. That's going to be a nice triple for our boy vYosh. He's getting things going. He's the first one to hit that 35 kill mark. He's going to be spawning back up. He's got pretty much the most amount of deaths in the lobby. He's 1 away from that. And he's just gunning people. Right? He's getting it done. He's making sure he's using every single one of his lives to try to get some damage going. But I am loving what I'm seeing out of everyone in this lobby. There's 4 minutes left. That top spot is still heavily contested. We got 2 people at 36. We got someone at 35. Got another guy coming up, Benjo Stark, at that 30 mark. I mean, it's coming down.
It absolutely is. These last 3 minutes are going to define the champions here of this match. We got Messi on screen trying to maybe sneak his way back into the top area right now. He breaks that 30 kill barrier, but with 3 minutes left to go, it might be a little bit worrisome for them. 2 players at 36 kills and 1 at 38. That player in the lead being Riots Too Fast. Trying to take this one home, trying to accrue those 10 points for that winner here, but you know, with the way this is going so far, I could make a quick read right here, CNK. We might see a different winner on each of these FFA matches. I feel like a lot of these players stack up very well right here. Only 3 minutes left to go. This is when things really heat up here in these FFA matches, and it's going to be TxJoltz on screen right now, trying to find kills where he can. 16 assists to his name. Kind of tough situation for him, but he gets taken down by a big dog. Riot's the first one to break that 40 kill barrier. Let's see how many he can get to, and let's see if he can take this one home.
Yeah, he's going to have a +3 lead. Make that only a +2 lead at the moment over vYosh at the moment, who is just trying to make sure he keeps up. And now he's going to get himself to 39, keeping things nice and close. Another double kill at him. This guy likes his multi-kills, but our boy Riot's going to be at that 41. Big thing to know with him, earlier when he was just at that like 22 kill marker, he had 13 assists. Now he only has 18. He's one of those guys we were talking about. You got to watch out for him, turning those assists into kills. He's doing that. He's picking up some big kills. And Critical right there, going to pick up a couple big ones as well. But right now, there is still a race for the lead with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. This one's going to come down to the wire.
It absolutely will. 2 minutes and 30 seconds, like you said, and Riot slowly but surely creating quite the solid lead for himself. 44 and 31 right now. The KD is there. Big dog trying to take him down, but he's unable to do so. He breaks that 45 kill barrier, and as this game has rounded itself out, Riots has found himself quite the solid lead right here. vYosh, Benjo, and Dragonbane all slowing down just a little bit, and he uses that time to really turn up. Sitting at 46 kills right here. He could find 50 by the time this game ends, but for now, I'm sure all he's worried about is that W.
Yeah, I mean, that W is all that really matters. And I mean, this guy's at 46 kills right now. That's Riots at 46 kills. Guys beating everyone up on the map right now. vYosh going to be at that 43, trying to keep up the best he can. And there's a minute and a half left. There's definitely time for these guys to be able to get something going. See if vYosh can keep up a little bit here. But Riot's up to that 47 marker. He's going to be up quite a bit right now for how much time is left. But hey, it's a 10-second respawn timer. So if one of these guys dies, it's going to be an opportunity for the other one to maybe get a bigger lead or try to catch up. But right now, Riot's doing his best. I mean, this guy's coming up on 50 kills right now. I believe the current kill record for the four finales of the free-for-all in the HRL is something like 54 or 53 kills in a game. So he's already coming up close to that in the first game, so I can't imagine what the future games are going to be like.
Yeah, because when you get in those second and third games, all these players are really gunning for these kills. Riots picks up that 51st kill. He breaks that 51st barrier. He's already at 52. I mean, he's really turned up in the second half of this game. I feel like just a moment ago, he was plus 14 on the scoreboard, and now he's gotten his way to plus 18 here, sitting at 53 and 35 here. Probably going to round this one out. I'm pretty sure we can hand him the W. The closest one behind him is going to be Dragonbane and vYosh, but just remember a second ago how close all these players were in proximity. I mean, I feel like at one point, all of these players were at like 37 kills.
Yeah, I mean, that top 4, top 5 was super heavily contested, but it just felt like A couple guys slowed down a little bit, and vYosh and Riot started to get the nice lead, but then Riot's, I mean, he got out there. He's going to get that official kill record, I believe, for the FFA finals at 55 right now, only 2 seconds remaining. Maybe he can get another one, who knows. But it really comes down to the fact of, like, this guy was doing a really good job at the beginning of the game. That's going to be hard to keep up with, but it's not impossible.
Yeah, and that's the thing too is, you know, you really don't know who kind of just hopped on. All right, everybody, here we are back with game 2. This is not game 3. Do not be fooled because we got a full reset on that second lobby. Shout out to everybody in the game for agreeing to that reset. It seemed as if they were down for whatever, and we really appreciate that over here at the HRL.
Yeah, gotta love the boys for that. They're making it nice and easy on us, that's for sure. And hey, we're kicking things off literally just like last time, right where we left off, right? The boys who are in the top 4-ish area are all up to that like 2 kill marker for the most part. A couple other guys are getting in there as well. Looks like we got our boy Big Dog. He's up to that 2 kill marker. He's trying to catch up. He's trying to get himself a nice first place this time around to keep himself in this series. And here we go. Here's that camo out of our boy vYosh. Let's see how he can utilize this to maybe get himself a couple kills on the board before he gets caught up.
Yeah, a lot of kills going to be going back and forth here. Hopefully Big Dog can take this one home, like you said, but Riot's already out to a 2-kill lead here, sitting at 5. Everybody else at 3 or 2. Nobody at 1, so the lobby stacking up quite well as it usually did. We get a back smack from Benjo Stark, and this is one of my personal favorites going in here into the second game. Benjo Stark, solid name, solid player, and he's got 5 assists so far. CNK, we've been casting this a couple times, and 5 assists off the break is quite a lot.
Yeah, I mean, having more assists and kills is definitely a rough one to start things off, but you got to think that's just like how crazy fast-paced everything is, and like it's nuts. But I mean, our boy Riot, that guy's already up to 7 kills. He's what, 2-3 kills ahead of the next best guy. Actually, Dragon Bane over, yeah, he's over there at 5. But man, I feel bad for my guy Benjo Stark. I said Benjo, sorry. He's at that 5 assists. He's got to be turning that around though. He's gonna be getting that 10 kill marker, no problem.
Turning around, turning up, and taking those kills when he can get them. Dragon Bane with the nice little AW backdash. You know, I feel like most of the time we see those horizontal dash movements, but the vertical is, you know, it could always be utilized no matter what.
I mean, we got our first guy at 10 kills. That's Dragon Bane doing exactly what Riot's did before the restart. He's got 10 kills, 0 assists. He's also got the least amount of deaths in the lobby at 3 right now. Dragon Bane, the absolute GOAT at the moment. He's got that pulse carbine. He's got the BR, and he's just picking up kills left and right.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta wonder, like, what really is the best strategy here in an FFA match? You know, you can play that, like, control play style where you patrol around an area where, you know players are gonna come through at some point and just try to pick them up, catch them off guard, maybe switch around the spots every once in a while. Or, you know, you can play that very aggro, you know, slide jump out, try to chow somebody, maybe play that third-party tactic. But, you know, I feel like we're seeing all of the play styles coming in here, and Dragon Bane has very much so perfected the play style of finding kills and no assists at the same time.
Also only has died 4 times. This guy is absolutely killing it right now in this lobby. The guy is just pretty much holding down that blue side of the map over by Generator, main blue base, and just kind of going back and forth right now. And yeah, he's still over there in that mid stairway between those two. He's up to the 16 kill marker. He's basically double anyone in the lobby right now. Still has 0 assists. He's being very, very efficient with his kills. But look at him right now. I mean, he's got this commando. He's about to die right now to our boy Benjo Stark. Actually, never mind, because he's going to be able to just barely live. But it looks like Riot's. I want some of this smoke. He's down in that blue Generator. Probably going to pop up in a little bit. But Dragon Bane, guy's got the commando, and he finally gets his first assist as well.
I mean, you know, you got to get an assist at some point. There's no doubt about it. He's probably very upset about that one. Breaks his streak, but he finds his 17th and he finds his 5th death at the same time. And if I'm Dragon Bane right now, you know, you are off to such a hot start that, you know, you may want to throw that playstyle out the window and just start playing very aggressive, because, you know, no matter what, if you play aggressive, those kills are going to come your way, no doubt about it. And if you can just go 1 for 1 at this point, you're already plus 14 on the map so far. You got to think, if you play aggressively, you're going to be able to take this one home.
I mean, most definitely, especially a guy with his skill. He's capable of playing 1 for 1 with literally anyone in the lobby, right? He's able to do that, no problem. I mean, he finished the last game. What was it in the? Let me try to find him real quick. She can't even see him on the list right now. What's going on? Oh, he's finished second, right? Yeah, he finished second. So like taking away a win on this one would be absolutely massive. He's off to a nice little head start right now. He's got to worry about, I guess the next closest guy is going to be Benjo Stark, and then both vYosh and Riots are at that 12 kill marker. So he's got a really good buffer for how much time is left on this game. I mean, obviously we can see that disappear in a matter of 2 minutes, but I think our guy, he's going to keep up with this heavy slaying and probably minimal deaths, even though he's died basically double the amount of times in the last like minute. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, and you gotta wonder, like, is there some sort of like mental game going on here within the game? Like, if you're Messi with 14 kills or Riots with 15 kills, you're looking at the scoreboard right now and you're going, damn, like, I'm in second place and this guy's already got 20 kills. Like, I am low-key far away from that margin. Like, does that kind of slow you down a little bit, you think, CNK? Does that force you to maybe play a little faster and maybe throw some lives away that you wouldn't necessarily do if you're in that 2-kill buffer area?
I mean, it 100% gets you in the mental, right? It gets you to that point where you're like, I gotta catch up, I gotta catch up. So you're just getting way too overly aggressive. Maybe you're trying to third party a little too aggressively, right? You're not really waiting long enough for the gunfights to go long enough for you to get both kills or at least get one of them. And it's to the point where it's definitely a hindrance to you. But it doesn't help either. It gets even worse when you're trying to catch up, you're going full speed, you die, and then you see a guy like Dragonbane pick up 2-3 kills, right? Like, that's like the worst feeling in the world. You see a guy like Benjo Stark and Riots right now, both these guys playing very aggressive, but they're picking up kills in a very rapid manner. Like, Benjo Stark only 3 away from that lead at the moment, well, tying the lead. So I feel he's probably not feeling maybe as pressured as some of these guys, but I do agree that you definitely feel insanely pressured if you're behind.
Yeah, but Riots and Benjo both have turned this pressure, and you know, pressure creates diamonds, and you know, maybe that has become the case. Maybe Dragonbane has slowed down a little bit, died a few times. He was sitting at that like 20-6 count now, and he finds himself at 23-11. So maybe slowed down a little bit, found some more assists to his name, but still with a pretty relatively solid lead right here. I mean, like you said, CNK, he finished in second place. If he can finish first now, he's definitely in a very solid spot, but you know, we really never know what's going to happen. As the lobby kind of flattens out, we're kind of at like a plateau. Everybody's at the same spot, but I feel like very quickly, similar to last game, somebody might start to run away with this here, and who knows who it could be, CNK.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it could be literally anyone at the moment. Dragonbane obviously starting off with that hot start, but both Riots and Benjo have just been consistent, right? Not really getting off to those crazy hot streaks where they're getting 4, 5, 6 in a row or whatever, like Dragonbane was able to do for a short while there. Just making sure they're getting their 1 kill minimum of life, and some kills getting 2 or 3, right? These guys are staying consistent with that, doing a really good job, and that's allowed them to stay up towards the top. And then a guy like Messi as well, like, he's just someone who we've seen. Messi is just doing a really good job of utilizing his grenades, right? That guy, every time I swear he throws a grenade, I feel like it's gonna one-hit somebody. He does a very good job of landing them perfect, and it just allows for these guys to just slowly keep in it. Whereas a guy like Dragonbane has slowly slowed down because he's not in his blue side hold like he was at the beginning. Maybe he's very comfortable in that position, and now he's probably starting to panic, right? He's seeing everyone catch up to him. He hasn't really been getting a ton of kills, and now he's like, I gotta speed up, and he's getting kills here and there. I mean, he picks up a double kill right there, so never mind, that's invalid, but still.
I mean, it definitely stands, no doubt about it. One thing I'm excited to see is I feel like inevitably we are going to see an overkill in this lobby. And in an FFA game where every kill counts, an overkill can shift the tides of the game in an instant. I mean, imagine, you know, Riots picks up an overkill right now. That takes him from 23 to 27 kills. I mean, that's a lot of kills when, you know, it can be decided by 1 or 2 kills. I'm very excited to see when that happens and exactly who it happens to, because it's always exciting to see an overkill. We know that, CNK.
Yeah, I mean, the overkills are great to see, but I mean, I'm gonna low-key probably be betting on Messi, because I feel like Messi's the guy that he's doing a lot of 1-for-1s, but Messi like gets a lot of double kills. We just saw another one there a little bit ago. Messi picks up those 2-3 kills in a life a lot, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's the guy we're looking at, because he tends to throw some lives away as well, just because he's trying to get a little bit, trying to make plays, trying to get those multis, but he's keeping himself nice up and close towards that top. But like you were just saying, if someone were to get an overkill in this like top 4, you could literally go from like 5th to 1st like instantly.
Oh, absolutely. Like you said, CNK, you know, the pace of play completely matters there as well. If we are going to see an overkill, like, I wouldn't imagine we'll see an overkill out of Dragonbane, given he is playing somewhat slow. You know, I'll probably caster curse that at some point, but, you know,
Oh, yeah.
it's just the style of
Oh,
play.
whoa.
Oh, there he goes. vYosh picks up an overkill. He goes from 21 to 25 right there. You know, as we're talking about it, CNK, you got to think, you know, we got some sort of influence on this game here. Someone was listening.
Hey, it's that caster curse, but kind of like reverse. It's just like you just made it happen. It is what it is. But our boy vYosh, he was kind of falling behind, right? He was kind of slipping out of that top 5 for this lobby, but he's immediately back in it. If he can keep it up for a few more lives this last like 4.5 minutes, he can get himself right back into that top 3. Maybe even get into first. He's pretty far away from that first place spot, but if he can get himself back in the top 3, get some solid points. He got 3rd in the last match. It's possible. I mean, he can keep himself right in this series. That'll put him up to that 14 points if he gets 3rd again.
Yeah, and one more person to point out that's very influential in this game. Not only Dragonbane could potentially, you know, tie for that first place spot or even take that first place spot if he's able to win here, but Messi, sitting at 30 kills so far, in 2nd place pretty comfortably right now, only behind, or only just in front of Benjo. But if Messi's able to take the 2nd place spot, you know, he finished 5th in the first game. You know, you don't want to finish 5th in the first game, but if you're able to place 2nd in the 2nd one, you're still in contention, no doubt about it.
Oh, I mean, most definitely. And another guy we got to point out once again, Riot's just kind of got himself, he's having a really slow game for the most part, but he just got himself 3-4 kills in that last life and got himself once again right back into contention for that top 3 spot. But I love the fact, like, a guy like Messi, this just shows how close this lobby is, right? Messi is a guy was in that 5th position at the end of the last match, and now he's in the 2nd spot right now with a pretty decent lead over the like that 3rd place guy. If he just keeps it up, he'll finish off in that 2nd place spot, or maybe, I mean, he's got a shot at first still, and the guy's picking up kills. I mean, right there, it ends up not going his way, even though I feel like it should have, but it is what it is. You got things going down the wire. And you got to remember, every time you die in Halo, you're dead for 10 seconds, right? So every time one of these guys dies, they're gone. They don't have the ability to get points for quite a bit of time, and that allows for a lot of people to catch up. Look at the kills right now. A lot of people at 31.
Yeah, I want to say, like, or I want to agree with you there, CNK. When you die, it is very influential in these games. Like we said, the pace of play is always, like, tends to be high, but I feel like in the 2nd game, you know, there's only 240 left to go, and Dragonbane's only sitting at 47. I feel like last time around, Riot's was sitting at probably about, like, 42 to 45 kills at this point in the game. So, you know, while we normally see the pace of play pick up, it seems like this lobby specifically has really flipped that on its head and started to slow down in the 2nd game here.
Oh, most definitely. Like, usually we see the pace of play go up, up, and up, and up, and just keeps on going. But it feels like for some reason this one, everyone was forced to slow down. But I got to think a big part of that was probably what Dragonbane was able to do at the beginning of the map. Completely locking down the blue side of the map by himself for such a prolonged period of time probably just affected how kills happened on the game for the next 10 minutes, specifically because the first 5 minutes, everything was kind of slow because you couldn't go to that side of the map.
Yeah, meta shifter Dragonbane over here, sitting at 38 kills, but, you know, he slowed down for a moment right there. He was at 37 for quite a while, and it gave time for Messi and Benjo to really turn up here. Benjo and Messi both at 36, Dragonbane at 39. I mean, 1 death for Dragonbane. As Benjo and Messi come off spawn, it could get very dangerous for him, but he is growing his lead now, sitting at 40 as I was talking about that.
And just look at Riot's right now, the guy on our screen. The way he was able to move across the map there, he ends up dying right away to Benjo. But he just moved across the map so fast. But look at these kills. You got Riot's at 35, Dragonbane at 40, vYosh at 37, Benjo 39, Messi 36. Even got TxJoltz up at 33. Like, this game is really close, coming down to the wire. vYosh at 37. He's 2 away from Benjo. He's still alive. Benjo just coming off a respawn there. vYosh now up to that 38 marker. Riot's at 36. You're going to see Dragonbane with 1:05 left up to that 40 marker. He's got guys close by. Within 2 kills is pretty close, about as close as it could possibly be. See Riot's right there with a nice 2-kill swing. Things are getting sketchy.
And the game is tied right now with 1 minute left to go. We got Dragonbane and Benjo Stark both sitting at 41 right now. Riot's and Messi not too far behind at 37 and 38 respectively. Benjo Stark takes the lead right now, and Dragonbane dies at the same time. So very solid timing for Benjo Stark as they come off spawn. This last 30 seconds is going to mean everything here, CNK. I feel like anybody could take this one.
Yeah, I mean, anyone can take this one for sure. 30 seconds remaining. Everyone on the top 5 area just going back and forth. That's going to be Riot's finally picking up those assists he deserves all this time. Messi with a nice 3-piece right there, trying to go for the 4th right now. Gets the triple, gets the overkill. That was Dragonbane. I don't know why I'm saying Messi, but my boy up to that 46 marker gets himself back in the lead before getting taken down. Now, Benjo Stark needs to get one more kill. He's going to die. Not enough time to respawn. The only one who could beat Dragonbane going to be dead too long to get things going again. Actually, I say that he spawns back in. He's at 46, but oh, look at the deaths. Dragonbane's going to win it off of deaths because he assists. Hey, throws little looping things, right? And this is exactly what we were talking about with how like tight knitted this group is.
Consistency here.
Yeah, I mean, shout out him. The guy's like, he's going to be up there probably once again. If he gets that 46 again, is it going to be enough to win? Or are we going to see a guy like Riots or someone like that come out and get another 50+ like game? Which, from what we know from previous FFA finals, we expect this 3rd game to be the most fast-paced out of all of them and expect the most amount of kills.
Yeah, I mean, these players are playing for their lives right now, especially with the amount of people in like the potential to win. You know, people are going to be chasing kills. They're going to be challenging. They're going to be looking for every fight they can take. I mean, just look at how Messi is playing right now. You can just tell from the movement that all these players are gunning for these guys. And, you know, off the break, we got Benjo Stark at 4 in the lead, make it 5, but make it 6. I mean, nice double kill, and those double kills really make a difference right now. 6 and 1, and he picks up a heat wave. We don't see the heat wave get used very often in these FFA maps because I feel like it's kind of hard to get. It's kind of off the side there in an awkward spot, and you know, with a long range of Aquarius, it can be kind of hard to apply it to a situation. But you know, if someone turns up with the heat wave, I mean, I feel like if you find a right situation, that can net you a good couple kills.
Oh, I mean, for sure. We saw it in the last lobby out of Dragonbane, right? Dragonbane holding down that blue side of the map. A lot of that was because he was able to use the heat wave in the close spawn range, right? Whenever the guys would spawn in blue main, he would just run up to him with the heat wave and kill him real quick until he ran out of ammo with it. I mean, he literally went on like a kill streak in a free-for-all lobby, which is absolutely nuts. Which Benjo Stark, I mean, he was doing the exact same thing towards the beginning of this lobby. He started out 6 and 2, now being 7 and 5, which is still fantastic. Look at Riots. Also, that guy's up to 8 kills. This lobby, they're starting to get these kills pretty quick. It looks like a little bit faster than last time.
Yeah, I'm going to start doing these calculations once we reach those 5-minute marks. You know, you can kind of tell how the lobby's playing when we reach that 5-minute mark. If this lobby's going to, like, regular pace, we should see the leader with around 15 kills once we hit that 10-minute mark. But, you know, given the way these players are playing right now, we could see somebody at, like, 17, 20 by the time we see that 10-minute mark. So, very interested to see how this lobby plays out right now. We got 2 players kind of leading the pack here in Riots and Benjo Stark, both with low assist numbers. So, you might see that change real quick. Somebody like Dragonbane did go off to a slow start. He was 0-5 just a second ago, and now he's made his way back to 4-5. So, you know, he was slowing down for just a second there, but he's found his way back to a relatively solid spot as he marks his 7th assist. So, you know, those high assist players in the beginning of the game are definitely players to worry about in the second half.
Oh, I mean, 1,000%. Oh, look at vYosh. Nice little triple kill right there. That's our boy. Looks like he was maybe trying to go for Dragonbane a little bit more than he could chew there with the Dragon Man himself. But, I mean, we're kicking things off nice. I mean, you're 2 minutes of that 10-minute marker. We got plenty of people getting a lot of kills here. And there just seems to be a lot of chaos on the map right now. It almost feels like some people are playing maybe a little bit faster than they're used to. And it's causing just a lot of spawn chaos and allowing things to get a little bit more mixed up than normal. But look at Jolt with this heat wave trying to utilize that. It's going to pick up 1. Doesn't get that second one that he wanted, but hey, at least he's not dead. He didn't really take much damage. He's gonna have an opportunity to keep things going. I take it back because vYosh is gonna take that thing away from him, say, I appreciate you delivering that one to me. You are just like UPS to me. And he's gonna immediately third party a fight right there, pick up 2 big kills, and that's gonna put him to that 15 kill marker.
Yeah, so vYosh placing well right now, and that's one of those players, like we said, that could really mix up this whole scoreboard if he places well in this 3rd game. I mean, one thing I want to point out real quick is, remember in last game we were spectating Dragonbane and he was something like 18 and 5. Yep. Nobody on the scoreboard even close to 5 deaths right now. I mean, these guys are challing, no doubt about it. The shots are coming in cross map. Riots slowly but surely trying to catch up to vYosh. Benjo Stark not far behind, but our leader right now, Dragonbane, you know, kind of rounding out the back right now in last place at 6 and 5. And that's a player that you're going to want to watch out for in the second half, because he can turn up at any point, and that's really going to adjust the standings here if he's able to find his way back into those top 5s.
I mean, the big thing we know with Dragonbane is he can go on those big streaks. We saw him go on a massive streak in the last match. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him do it again in this one eventually, right? Right now, things seem to be a little bit too fast-paced for the strategy that he's trying to utilize, but he's trying to do his best to make sure he's getting those 1-for-1s, getting kills in the lives that he has, but he's already up to that 11 assist marker. That's got to be pretty brutal as far as you got to figure out how to turn those into kills, but for someone we know who's capable of getting a lot of kills, not surprised he's getting a lot of assists, right? Like, he doesn't have a lot of kills, but usually with these guys who get a lot of kills, we see that transfer into assists until they can kind of figure out how to close out those kills.
vYosh Stark with a big 2-piece right there, trying to even the gap here as vYosh dies. He's got around 5 to 10 seconds to work with right now. But, you know, just patrolling this top side of the map. And we've passed that 5-minute mark at 9:45 right now. So just a little bit over a third through this game. And our kill leader sitting at 18 right now. That is vYosh, as we were talking about. So the pace of play definitely rising. I don't necessarily think the kills are higher than usual, but I mean, look at those deaths. I mean, even the top player, that being vYosh right now, only +7, +6 just a moment ago. Everybody very close to even here in this FFA. And, you know, the playing field is as even as ever here in these FFA Series 3 chumps.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. It's staying competitive down to the wire. We've seen, I mean, like, this lobby is a perfect example of how competitive the HRL free-for-all is, right? I mean, you got the lowest ones at 10, the highest ones at 21, but look at how, like, mixed up that middle is. You got guys at 12, 13, 15, 14, 17, 18, like, top to bottom. Everyone's pretty close. Just like, once again, like we were talking about that last map, you get one overkill, everything completely changes. And we saw 2 people get it in the last map. The only 2 we've seen so far this year is, I say the only 2, but it's an overkill. Absolutely amazing achievements out of those 2 players. And I'm curious to see what we can see as far as this game starts, as far as big triple kills, big double kills.
Yeah, the overkill's going to be as important as ever, especially in this third game, especially in the first half of this game. If you can get an overkill in that early part of the game, it can really shift your gameplay. You know, you start to feel yourself. You start to find that aggression and are finding those gunfight wins when you maybe weren't necessarily getting them before. And one...
Oh. Like we lost our boy there just for a moment. Yeah, he'll be back momentarily. I'm sure he's just having a slight internet connection issue. No big deal. It does happen every once in a while to the boys. But yeah, we're off to a really nice start here. You've got our lead. That's going to be vYosh up to that 24 kill marker, or about to the halfway marker, just 20 seconds away to that halfway marker of that 7.5 minutes. And already, like, this thing is staying super, super competitive. We're seeing guys like Riots, and that's a guy I'm watching from the start to the end, right? Riots is a guy we've seen. He's kind of got that clutch factor. Once we get towards the last 2-3 minutes or so, he seems to heat it up quite a bit. He starts to pick up rapid pace double and triple kills, starts to get a lot of damage down on the board. Like we saw last lobby, he was down by like 8 or 9 kills from being in that top 3 or so. And he immediately was able to kick it into gear, get himself back up to a top tier position and keep it going. And
yeah.
Oh, you're back. Perfect.
Okay, yeah, I'm back. I don't know exactly what happened, but, you know, I was kind of given a manifesto right there, so kind of tough that I cut out there right in the middle. But, you know, this game has evened out. You know, vYosh still sitting at 25, Riots at 24. And what I was going to say is, you know, we shouldn't just look at who's at that #1 spot. You know, obviously vYosh gunning for the top. First place would mean a lot to him right here, but those 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place finishes might be a huge difference maker here in the points, because, you know, if vYosh finishes first, I feel like it could really mix up everything.
Yeah, I mean, if vYosh finishes first, he technically has the potential to win if guys like Messi, Jolt, and Critical can outbeat guys like Riots, Benjo, and Bane. But all 3 of those players would have to get, what, 4th? Well, like, I think actually 6th place or lower for the most part, which is obviously mathematically not technically really possible. But, hey, you never know, right? It is what it is, and it's free for all, so anything can happen. But right now, everyone in this lobby, I mean, that top side of the lobby is just always so close, Jake. I don't know. Like, this has got to be one of those lobbies, like, we're talking about how, like, the psychological side of things work in these lobbies, but, like, you know how brutal it must be that every game you know exactly the 4 or 5 players that are in it together with you? I mean, look at a guy like vYosh Stark once again, just picking up double kills. Like, how much psychological effect it is just to constantly be the same 4 or 5 guys fighting for first, second, third, fourth.
Yeah, especially when you know too, like, okay, if I wanna place well in this, I gotta pass this guy specifically. Like, you probably have that one player in mind where you're like, okay, if I can place better than him, then I'm feeling comfortable here. So like, you're probably looking up at the scoreboard, like checking where Dragonbane is, checking where Riots is, and you're like, oh god, I gotta speed up my kills a little bit right here. Like, you feel that in a regular FFA lobby, but when you're really trying to win something like this, it's gotta be like twofold. Like, I feel like if it was me in these last 5 minutes, like, I'd be jittering, I'd be like really going for it, and it would be a lot to really consume here. And I think that's why we can see some players maybe slow down or speed up in the second halves of the game. I said it once and I'll say it again, pressure makes diamonds, and I'm sure we'll see the diamond of the lobby here by the time this game rounds out. But Riots and Dragonbane really turning up. Dragonbane specifically found himself in that second place spot even after such a slow start for him.
Yeah, and these are the 2 guys to look out for, right? Because if Riots or Bane win, it doesn't really matter. Those guys win the whole thing, right? Whichever one of them wins, they win. But like, they have to beat each other, right? Like, that's the only way for the other one to win, is if they beat the other, right? So Dragonbane and Riots are going to be up to this fight all the way to the end. It's probably going to get pretty intense towards the end of the game as well. But you can always have a guy like vYosh once again go and get an overkill, go and get some nice triple kills and stuff, get himself right back in things and get that first place and just completely throw a wrench in everything. Because Dragonbane and Riots are within 1 point at the moment. So you got to remember, if you get that first place, you get 10 points. And that's a pretty big difference to that second place, which is 8, right? And so
yeah,
Dragonbane and Riots being within that 1 point, whoever gets first and whoever gets second, it's a big deal, and it's going to come down to the wire.
Yeah, it absolutely will. The last 3 minutes and 50 seconds of this game going to mean a lot right here. Riots currently in the lead at 36, but you never know who's going to really turn up. Maybe find an over, maybe find even a triple kill at this point in the game. Could change everything. We got another big kill out of Riots. I mean, that's a huge kill right now. When you die in the last 5 minutes, it's so much more hurtful to you than when you find a death in the first half. Wow, what a big 2-piece. I mean, this guy might be the diamond I'm talking about here, CNK. He finds his 40th kill, and he's finding a big lead here in the last 3 minutes.
I mean, talk about being able to play under pressure. Riots has been a guy all 3 games. Every single time we get into that last, like, 4 minutes or so, he just starts to pop off. He gets into that, like, part where it just feels like he's comfortable, right? He knows what he's doing in these FFAs. He knows exactly how he wants to play it. It feels like going into the last couple minutes, and he doesn't really change his strategy. He just full sends, gets it done. But he also, like, he manages to stay in your face and stay very, very aggressive while also not overextending too much and just giving up his life.
Yeah, I mean, those 2 pieces and 3 pieces can mean a lot, but when you can do that and get away with your life, I mean, that is more influential than ever. And one thing I want to point out, CNK, I know we have the stats for the kill lead, but I want to know what the #1 assist total is in Halo FFA history, because we got Dragonbane with 26 right now, and that's got to be some of the highest I've ever seen.
Yeah, I swear we had a guy at like 34 or something like that at one point in time, and all we did was laugh about it because it was like a feels bad moment. But I could just be completely like faded on that one, but I swear it was like something high like that. But I have no doubt Dragonbane, that's got to be top 3 all time for finals. But imagine if he comes back and wins this one and has like double the assists of like most of the people in the lobby. Like, that would be absolutely nuts. He's only a couple kills behind at the moment. There's 2 minutes left. He's got the potential to do it. But right now, Dragonbane's biggest gift he could possibly have, he obviously can't die right now to Messi. He's going to get the 1-for-1 trade. Not the best scenario, but Riots is also going to be dead on the map. And Riots, if he just continues to get kills, it's going to be completely out of Dragonbane's reach.
Yeah, and if you're Dragonbane, you gotta also focus on making sure vYosh can't pass you as well. I mean, at this point, you know, you're only trying to pass Riots, but you know, you don't want to finish third as well. So Dragonbane going to be looking for maybe a triple kill, maybe an overkill, as there's only a minute 25 seconds left, and hoping one of those kills is on Riots as well. Maybe vYosh can take him down, but you know, he's so good at getting away with his life. He does find that kill. Dragonbane comes off spawn, and vYosh finds another one as well. Gonna make his way to that second place spot, tied with Dragonbane. But as I say that, Dragonbane finds his 41st kill. Only 3 kills in between him and Riots. I mean, it could all come down to this. Somebody's got to take down Riots for Dragonbane, and Dragonbane finds another. So 44-42 right now, CNK. This one's coming down to the absolute wire as normal.
Yeah, Dragonbane's got to find a way to get a couple more of these kills, preferably one of them being Riot's. Riot, so at that 45 kill marker, there's 43 seconds left. Plenty of time for both these guys to get something going. Riot's going to die on the map. Dragonbane at that 43 kill marker needs 2 more to catch back up and tie up at the moment. The death's not in his favor, though. He's going to have to make sure he gets a couple more kills. But also, vYosh coming from behind. He's at the 42. Dragonbane with a nice 2-piece. He's at 45, 1 kill away. There's 24 seconds remaining. Both these players need kills. They both know it. I'm sure they're checking their scoreboards nonstop. And both these guys should be getting in gunfights soon. We're gonna see Dragonbane get in a fight in the back of the blue base. Gonna get taken down. Riot's gets himself a kill as well. That gets him to 47. He's up by 2. And now things are really sketchy. He's up by 3 now. 5 seconds remaining. Dragonbane needs an absolute miracle at the moment. Doesn't look like he's gonna get it as he gets in a gunfight with the man he needs to kill. He's gonna end up losing. And that's going to be our boy Riot's 48 kills.
You know, a lot of these players come back in the next series. You know, you don't got to play in Chumps, but you know, we'd love to see you just play in the